So now let's continue the discussion. Sexy Services pays a monthly fixed salary expense of 25,000. Its supplies expense is 5 pesos for every 100 of services rendered. Total supplies expense for the period is 2,000 pesos. Sexy's operating income is, so operating income yung tinatanong. So ito yung ating formula. Um, Again, based dun sa given, sabi is meron daw tayong fixed monthly salary of 25,000 pesos. And then supplies is 5 pesos for every 100 services rendered. So meron tayong supplies expense na 2,000. So given naman na yung supplies expense, ang kukunin na lang natin kung magkano yung service revenue natin. So 5 pesos for every 100 na services. So ibig sabihin, itong 2,000 na ito, i-divide natin siya sa 5 pesos. So yan. 2,000 divided by 5 pesos. So para makuha natin ilang 100 yung service na na-render. So that is 2,000 times 5 pesos, that is divided by 5, that is 400. Ibig sabihin 400 times yung na-render na service. So that is 400 times 100 pesos yung service revenue natin. So 400 times 100, that is 40,000. So 40 less 25 less 2, ang operating income natin is 13,000 pesos. So yan, next question natin. The fixed rent per month is 5,000. The salary and supplies expenses are 50 pesos for every 100 services rendered. Total service income is 100,000. Question naman dito, magkano daw yung operating expenses? So lahat ng operating expenses. So using the same formula kanina, makukuha natin si OPEX. Okay. So delete lang natin to. So again, ito yung given service revenue or service 1,000, fixed rent na 5,000, and then dito sa salaries and supplies expenses is 50 daw for every 100. So kukunin natin kung ilang beses ito para sa salaries and supplies. So yung 100,000 divide natin kasi every service is tag 100 pesos. So 100,000 divided by 100, that is 1,000 times nakabenta or nakapag-render ng service 1,000 times. So para makuha natin yung ating salary and supplies expense 100 times or 1,000, that is 1,000 times 50 pesos. So ang sagot natin dyan is 1,000 times 50, that is 50,000. So ang question sa atin is kung magkano yung operating expenses. So dalawa lang naman yung expense natin, itong dalawa. Ibig sabihin, OPEX. Ito yung sagot, 55,000 pesos. The total operating expense of model service for the period amounted to 150,000, which were all paid in cash except for the 15,000 payable in the subsequent period, the operating expenses will decrease the asset by. So, ang nangyari lang naman dito sa transaction na ito, nagbayad daw ng mga expenses, pero yung 15,000 babayaran na sa susunod na period. Ibig sabihin magiging liability yun. So, kung gagawa natin ng entry, ang sabi niya dito, the operating expenses will decrease the asset by. So, eto, ganito yung magiging entry natin para sa pagbayad ng ating operating expenses. Debit tayo ng operating expenses. Ano, yung amount is 150,000 kasi yun naman talaga yung na-incur. And then, credit tayo ng cash kasi ito yung binayaran amounting to 135,000. And then, another credit for accounts payable of 15,000. Now, ang question, magkano daw yung operating expenses, part ng operating expenses na magdi-decrease or magkano yung part ng operating expenses na makakaapekto sa pag-decrease ng ating asset. So, eto lang naman yung asset dito. Ibig sabihin yung answer is 135,000 pesos. Okay. So, next problem. The total revenue of Handsome Services for the period is 250,000. All are on cash basis except for the accounts receivable of 50,000 and notes receivable of 20,000 pesos. The capital of Handsome is increased by. So dito, kung ano lang naman yung revenue mo, yun naman yung magpapa-increase ng capital. Kasi wala naman din sinabi yung about sa expenses. So, ibig sabihin, yung answer natin dito is 250,000 pesos kung magkano yung revenue. Next is quality services revenue on account is 60,000 and the cash basis is 90,000 pesos. The cost of services is 80,000. The question is, the capital of quality will increase by. So, again, mag-increase lang yung capital kapag merong income. So, let's compute the income. Kung merong revenue account na 60 and 90, again, whether cash or credit, we consider that or we recognize that as income. So, 60,000 and 90, that is 150,000 pesos. Ibawas natin yung cost na 80,000. Ibig sabihin, meron tayong net income na or yung increase sa ating capital is 70,000 pesos. Again, 60,000 plus 90,000, that is 150 total revenue less cost of services, 80,000 pesos. Sabihin yung net income natin or yung increase sa ating capital is 70,000 pesos. Next, the total assets of best service is 500,000. 20% represents the claim of the owner. Its liability therefore is. So again, balik tayo sa ating basic accounting equation, which is the asset is equal to liability plus capital. Again, meron daw tayong total assets na 500,000 pesos. And then yung claim ng owner is the capital. 20% daw ito. Ibig sabihin yung liability natin is 80%. So, since liability lang naman yung tanong, compute natin 500,000 times 80%, that is 400,000 pesos. Yan, 400,000 pesos. Next, the owner's capital is 50,000. The creditors have 60% claim on the total assets. The correct amount of assets would be, again, using the basic accounting equation, yung capital na natin is 50,000. And then, meron tayong creditors 60% yung kanyang claim ng creditors on the total assets. Ibig sabihin ito is 40%. Diba? Ito 60 kasi 100% yung ating assets. So 60 ito, ibig sabihin ito 40. So para makuha natin yung asset natin, yung 100%, 50,000 divided by 40%. So yung answer natin dyan is 125,000 pesos. Next is the owner's capital is 200,000 pesos. Total liability is 80,000, of which 60,000 is current liability. The non-current asset is 100,000. So ang question natin dito is the working capital therefore is, again, babalik-balikan natin yung ating basic accounting equation. Okay, since ang tanong sa atin is working capital, so ganito kasi yan. Working capital is galing dito. Pero, again, para makuha natin si working capital, kailangan natin is yung current assets and yung current liability. So, ganyan. Para makuha natin si working capital. So, sabi dito, kasi dalawa yan, yung asset natin, merong current asset, meron din non-current assets. The liability natin, merong current liability, meron din non-current liability. So, sabi sa problem, meron daw tayong capital na 200,000. Meron tayong liability na 80,000. So, ibig sabihin yan, meron tayong assets na 280. Ano? So, kapag ganyan, tapos, sabi sa problem, yung current liabilities doon natin is 60. 60 ang current. And then, meron din tayo dito na non-current. Non-current asset kasi yung given. So, yung non-current asset natin is 100,000. So, kung ang assets is 280 and yung non-current is 100, ibig sabihin, yung current assets natin is 180,000 pesos. So, mangyayari ganito. Meron tayong 180 dito, meron tayong 60. So, ibig sabihin, magkano ito? Itong working capital natin. So, yung answer natin dyan is 120,000 pesos. Yan, 100,000 pesos. Kukunin nyo lang yung portion ng current kasi yun naman yung kailangan natin para makuha yung working capital. So, next. These purchases per purchase invoice amount to 150,000. The purchase discount is 2/10 and 30. Freight is 500 pesos. FOB shipping point collect using the net method. The amount of net purchases would be. So, para makuha natin yung net purchases, again, magsisimula tayo sa purchases, less natin yung discount. And i-add natin yung ating rate in. So, purchase invoice natin, yung amount is 150,000. Tapos, meron tayong discount na 2%. Sabi dito, using net method. So, kapag sinabing net method yung gagamitin, ibig sabihin, babawasan na natin yan agad. Whether nakabayad siya within the discount term or hindi. So, ganun siya kapag net method yung gagamitin. So, 150,000, diretso na natin i-multiply sa 98% or 0.98 kasi bawasan ng 2%. So, that is 147,000 And then, yung freight in, since ang term is shipping point, ibig sabihin si buyer yung magbabayad, purchases yung pinag-uusapan, so kasali yan dito. So yung answer natin is 147,500. Okay, yan, 147,500. Next, the purchase invoice shows the amount of 250,000, 2 over 10, 1 over 20. Ibig sabihin yan, 2% payable if paid within 10 days, 1% if paid within 20 days, pero payable siya within 30 days. FOB destination collect, 200 pesos. If the account is paid 15 days after the invoice date, the net payment, so yung amount na binayaran natin sa pag-purchase. So dito sa transaction, since after 15 days pa nabayaran, so magka-qualify siya doon sa 1% lang na discount natin. So kung compute natin, 250,000 na invoice price times 99%. Again, bawas na dito yung discount na 1%, just 247,500. So, again, the FOB destination, ano nga ba to? Sa FOB destination, si seller yung magbabayad kasi nga destination. Pero ang nangyari, si buyer yung nagbayad or tayo yung nagbayad. Ayun, sabi dyan, FOB destination, si seller dapat, pero collect, ibig sabihin si buyer ang nagbayad. So, mangyayari niyan, babawasan natin. Kasi si seller naman dapat magbayad. So, ibig sabihin, babawasan natin to ng 200 yung utang natin. Kasi tayo yung nagbayad sa freight na hindi naman tayo dapat. So, less 200, ibig sabihin, yung net payment natin is 247,300. Again, ito para sa freight. Yan, bawas natin. So, next problem natin is C purchased merchandise for 5,000 pesos and paid 200,000 at 200 pesos for the freight. Ano ba yun? FOB destination collect. The merchandise was sold at 120% of cost. So, ang question dito, magkano daw yung gross profit? So, para makuha ang gross profit, simple sales less cost. So, ganito siya. Sales, bawas natin yung cost, makukuha natin yung gross profit. Magkano ang So, sabi dito sa problem, yung may purchases. So, itong purchases, under ito sa cost. Na 5,000. And freight. Pero destination, so since destination ito, so si seller yung magbabayad. So, ibig sabihin freight out yan. No? Tayo ang seller ha. So, ibig sabihin meron tayong purchase which is the cost. Yun naman yun. Wala namang ibang given. So, yung cost natin is 5,000 pesos. Again. And then, okay. Correct ko lang yung self ko ha. Yung sa purchased merchandise na given, 5,000. Tapos nagbayad. Tayo yung nagbayad. Which is dapat hindi. Pero hindi na natin yan ima-mind. FOB destination, si seller dapat yung mag-record ng freight niyan. So, wala tayong pakialam. Ibig sabihin yung cost na natin dyan is 5,000. And then sabi sa problem, yung cost daw is yung sales natin is 120% ng cost. So, ito is 120% ng cost. So, ibig sabihin, ito yung 100%, ito yung 120%. Ganyan siya. So, 5,000 times natin sa 120%, that is 5,000 times 1.2. So, ang sagot dyan is 6,000. Ibig sabihin, yung gross profit natin is 1,000 pesos. Next, the total purchase is 1,176 net of 2% cash discount. Unsold portion of the purchase is 176. The sale is at markup of 10%. So the gross profit is, so again, formula natin, sales less cost, then makukuha natin yung gross profit. So, dito, sa given natin, meron tayong purchases or total purchases, which is 1,176. That is net of cash discount. So, net purchases na natin yan. Tapos, meron ditong, sa na-purchase natin, meron daw ditong hindi nabenta. So, ang tawag natin doon, yun yung tinatawag na merchandise inventory and yan yung naiwan, unsold portion. So, out of 1,176, may naiwan na 176. Ibig sabihin, yung na-sold or yung cost ng ating sold is 1,000. So, di tayo. May sales tayo, pero ang given lang is 10% ng nag-markup siya ng 10%. So, yung cost natin is yung na-compute natin dito, 1,000. Tapos, ang tanong, magkano daw yung gross profit? So, kung 10% yung markup, ito yung cost, nag-grow ng 110% yan dyan. Ito yung 100%. So, ibig sabihin, 1,000 times 10, so that 1,100. Ibig sabihin, yung gross profit natin is 1 peso. So, yung 10%, yun yung gross profit natin. So, yan yun ha, 100 pesos. And for our last question, the following items are taken from the records of the enterprise. Purchase, okay, isa-isa niya, binigay niya lahat. And then, yung question niya is, magkano daw yung gross profit? Okay. So, ganito. Ang question is, ano nga yun? Gross profit. So, ibig sabihin, since given itong mga purchases, ganito, no beginning and ending inventory. So, dito tayo sa ating computation. Meron tayong purchases. Based sa given, may purchases tayo ng 10,000. Meron tayong purchase returns na 100. Tapos, meron tayong freight in na 400. Ito, binabawas to. Freight in, ina-add. So, ibig sabihin, ang total net purchases natin or cost of purchase natin is 10,300. Ibig sabihin, kung walang beginning and walang ending, ibig sabihin na na-sold lahat. So, ito, na benta lahat ito, na-sold. So, meron tayong sales na given 15%. Meron tayong sales discount of 1,000. So, binabawas natin yan. So, net sales natin is 14,000. And meron tayong cost. Cost na ito, 10,300. Therefore, yung profit natin is 3,700 pesos. So, yan yung sagot for our last question. So yan, 3,700. So hopefully naintindihan yung ating explanation. If you have questions, please will feel free to chat sa ating GC para mabasa ng lahat yung tanong at mabasa ng lahat yung sagot. So God bless you. Wait lang kayo sa next natin na video for uh, the departmental exam nung last year. So thank you and God bless.